Many women go through life living by default, not by design. Waking up to alarms, to routines, to responsibilities, but not to purpose, not to joy, not to truth. Somewhere between deadlines and expectations, they forget what it means to feel alive. They scroll through feeds, absorbing other people's lives, other people's bodies, dreams, milestones, and slowly, invisibly, they disconnect from their own. But what if this moment, right now, is your invitation to come back to yourself? You don't need to escape your life. You need to return to it with new eyes, a new heart, and a new decision. The decision to no longer settle for a life that feels almost right, almost aligned, almost peaceful. Almost is the enemy of your greatness. You are not here to be almost happy. You're here to be deeply fulfilled. To wake up and feel grounded, guided, and lit from within. And that starts with remembering who you are. Beyond titles, beyond roles, beyond what others expect of you. You are not here to perform. You are here to embody, to take up space with the fullness of your voice, your values, your vision. Real growth starts when you stop trying to fit in and start choosing to stand out. Not from ego, but from essence. Because your essence is power. Quiet power. The kind that doesn't need to shout but cannot be ignored. You were never meant to shrink yourself to be palatable. You were never meant to silence your truth to keep the peace. You were never meant to dim your light so others feel more comfortable. You are meant to take ownership of your energy, to walk boldly with grace, to choose alignment over approval every single day. And yes, some days it's hard. Some days you will feel doubt, resistance, fatigue. But the you that you're becoming, she's worth fighting for. She's not perfect, but she's powerful. She's not fearless, but she's willing. She's not waiting, she's creating. You return to yourself through rituals, not grand gestures but sacred routines. Cup of tea, sipped in silence, a walk without your phone, a journal entry that says, "Here's how I really feel." You return every time you listen to your body instead of overriding it. Every time you choose rest without guilt. Every time you say no because your yes is sacred. You return when you breathe deeper, when you cry without shame, when you speak without shrinking. This journey isn't about becoming someone new. It's about shedding who you never truly were. It's about letting go of borrowed expectations and reconnecting to your original blueprint. Because somewhere inside you is a version of you who still believes, who still dreams, who still remembers what it's like to feel whole. And she doesn't need you to hustle. She needs you to be honest. She needs you to slow down and come home to your essence. Every time you choose alignment over approval, you evolve. Every time you choose truth over comfort, you heal. It might not be easy, but it will be worth it. Because the most beautiful thing you can ever be is fully, radically, unapologetically yourself. That kind of self-expression shifts timelines. It heals generational wounds. Teaches your daughters, your sisters, your inner child. That joy is your birthright. So be bold in your boundaries. Be soft in your presence. Be loud in your light. Not because you need to prove anything, but because you finally stopped hiding. There's an old narrative that told you to be quiet, polite, accommodating. That your worth came from how much you gave to others, how little you asked for yourself. But that narrative ends here. You are allowed to take up space. To say no without guilt. To choose yourself without apology. Because every time you do, you rewrite the story for every woman who's been told. She's too much, too loud, too emotional. You're not too much. You are exactly enough. And your presence is needed in its fullest expression. You don't need to abandon your softness to be strong. Strength is found in vulnerability. In choosing healing over hiding. In choosing honesty over habit. What you do daily defines who you become. Not once, not sometimes, but daily. The future you desire is not built in one leap. It's built in small sacred acts. Drinking water. With intention, turning your phone off to protect your energy. Keeping promises to yourself. Devotion is doing what aligns even when you don't feel like it. Devotion is love in action. You rise by doing the inner work when no one's watching. That's where trust grows. Where resilience is born. That's where magic begins to move. Let the world spin. Let others do what they will. You are building something eternal. Self that no circumstance can shake. You don't have to force your evolution. You only have to stop resisting it. When you get still, quiet enough, you can hear the parts of you that already know the way. Stillness isn't lack of movement. It's presence in motion. It's the power to witness without judgment, to feel without fleeing, to choose from center instead of chaos. The world will try to pull you into noise. Algorithms, opinions, urgency. But your healing doesn't happen in the noise. It happens in the quiet space where you reconnect with your breath, your body, your truth. Give yourself that space. Not just once. Regularly. Relentlessly. Ritualize your return. Your growth is not just about you. Every shift you make ripples outward. You normalize. You model boundaries. You embody joy that doesn't depend on outcomes. Your children watch. Your friends absorb. Your future self takes form. You become the living proof that it's possible to choose differently. That it's possible to rewrite patterns, break cycles, and live with open-hearted integrity. This is your revolution, not loud but lasting. No one else can walk your path for you. No one else can do the inner work, feel the discomfort, rise through the doubt, but you. That is not a burden. It's your sovereignty. It means that the life you desire is not dependent on anyone else's permission or validation. You no longer wait to be chosen. You choose yourself. Again and again. In every moment, in every breath you affirm, I am worthy. Am ready. Am home. There is power in taking full responsibility for your life. Not because everything is your fault, but because everything is your opportunity. You learn. You unlearn. You realign. That is how you grow. It's not about what you say. It's about what you embody. People feel your energy long before they understand your words. So when you walk in integrity, when your actions match your truth, you become magnetic. You become a mirror for what's possible. You are not here to convince. You are here to inspire through your being. Let your habits speak louder than your hopes. Let your consistency echo your vision. Your peace be your protest. Because in a world addicted to performance, your presence is radical. Manifestation isn't about sitting still and wishing. It's about becoming. Becoming the version of you who is already living the reality you desire. It's about emotional alignment, mental clarity, energetic precision. It's about acting from the future instead of reacting from the past. Every thought you think is a seed. Every word you speak is a direction. Every choice you make is a vote for your future. And yes, you will have moments of doubt. That's normal. But doubt doesn't mean stop. Doubt means deepen. Anchor into your why. Reconnect with your vision. Remember the feeling of what you're building. Because what you desire is already real in the quantum field. It's waiting for you to match. Vibrationally. Your job is not to chase. Your job is to align. When you grow, the world around you expands. Your energy touches lives you may never meet. Your courage becomes a permission slip for others. So share your story. Not for applause, for impact. Your journey, in all its mess and beauty, is sacred. And someone needs to hear it. You don't need to have it all figured out. You just need to be real. To be available. Be willing. The more you share from your truth, the more you create space for others to do the same. There comes a moment in every woman's journey when she stops asking, "What should I do?" and starts declaring, "This is who I am." That moment is sacred. It's when she steps into her own radiance, not borrowed from trends, not shaped by comparison, but born from the fire of her own becoming. Your light doesn't need to compete, just needs to be claimed. You don't need to shine like her. You need to shine like you. Because your brilliance was Never meant to be replicated, it was meant to be remembered. So walk into rooms with your energy first. Sit at tables with your worth intact. Speak your dreams into existence without shrinking the volume. The world doesn't need another imitation. It needs your unfiltered, unfazed, unmistakable light. You are not a project. You are a presence. One that cannot be dimmed when anchored in truth. There is a point in every sacred journey when you no longer ask if you're ready. You simply begin. Not because fear has vanished, but because your devotion has grown louder. You cross the threshold not when the path is clear, but when the calling becomes undeniable. This is the initiation, the becoming, the holy discomfort of expansion. It feels like trembling knees, deep breaths, and a quiet yes whispered into the unknown. You won't feel ready, but you'll feel aligned. And that's enough. The woman you're becoming doesn't wait for permission. She moves with intention, walks with vision. She speaks with soul. You're not starting over. You are starting deeper. From wisdom, from clarity, from power. So step forward. Not with certainty but with sovereignty. Because the moment you choose yourself without conditions is the moment your entire life realigns. As you walk this path, something sacred happens. You realize that all along it wasn't about fixing yourself, it was about finding yourself. Under the layers of fear, the stories, the roles. There you were. Whole. Worthy. Waiting. Transcendence isn't escaping your human experience. It's fully inhabiting it. Feeling every emotion as valid. Holding paradoxes as portals. Letting grief and joy sit at the same table. You are allowed to be a masterpiece and a work in progress at once. You are allowed to evolve out loud. To be bold in your boundaries and tender in your healing. The next level of your journey isn't about more. It's about depth. It's about intimacy with life, with self, with spirit. You no longer chase timelines. You honor divine timing. You no longer seek validation. Embody self-recognition. This is not the end of your transformation. This is the deepening of it. The sacred unfolding. The unshakable knowing. You are not who you were. You are not yet who you will be. But you are exactly who you need to be right now. Let that be enough. Let that be holy. This spiral never ends. It widens, lifts, integrates, and so do you. Now take a deep breath. Place your hand on your heart. And ask yourself, what is one truth I've been avoiding? What is one decision I know it's time to make? Write it down. Speak it out loud. Make it real. Your transformation doesn't need to be flashy. It needs to be felt, fully, embodied, repeated. And if this message resonated, if you felt even a spark of remembrance, a pulse of possibility, don't let it fade. Subscribe. Stay connected. Surround yourself with energy that elevates, language that liberates, and reminders that reawaken you to who you really are. Because you're not alone. We are walking this path together. And your becoming is already in motion. So walk boldly, live fully, and rise endlessly. Your evolution is inevitable. Begins now.